I am one of the 4 shareholders of Sanco, and long time has passed since the first time I visited the country on 1966, so a long time ago. Many things happened during such time, and also in our organization we grow up quite a lot. Our company is located near Milano in Italy, and you can see the first building is covering the activity for the production of fire and gas systems. The central part is the mechanical shop for the equipment system and fire trucks as well. So in our organization, we have about 200 people. 40 of them are dedicated for the research and implementation of the technology and design the system. You can see some activity during the construction of a deluge skid-mounted valve foam system, and so this is a typical configuration of a pumping set. As you noted, there are many components, and each one needs some attention in construction and testing and so on. What we did in the past, in the last 20 years, we started with Bechtel for a project in Iraq where they needed the containerized packages in a very short time in safe condition, and we started those applications. It's just one part of our, let's say, activity to build in the container the system. So any system can be realized in container. So this is a typical design of configuration of a container having 15 meters long. So it's quite complex, and it needs, let's say, much attention during the construction and the relevant testing. During, you can see now some pump assembling. There's a typical construction that we developed, as I told you, 20 years ago with Bechtel, an American company that everybody knows. The main components are inside the tank. The container. The container could be insulated according to the environment condition. It means in some case like the Gulf, we apply air force or air conditioning system, or in the other opposite case, for the very cold weather condition, we apply the heating system. So what are the advantages to build in the system, any system? We see some case later on where we have a prompt, let's say, a prompt answer for the installation, for instance. Safety condition for the people during the construction, avoiding any risk of leakage during the construction on site. So everything is pre-tested, pre-assembled in our premises, is transported on site and very easily fixed, like, let's say, plug-in unit. In some cases, the container can be, let's say, 2 units together to create really one pumping station or housing for the system. Like in this case, we have a canopy for the diesel engine to contain the noise in accordance with the specification. Other pictures showing the same. As you can see on the content of the container, we have the insulation, as I mentioned before. Of course, in that case, we have the ventilation and the heating or air conditioning system to protect the content. Other system in container, you see, in these pictures you can see the deluge valve skid mounted or in the next pictures, we see other cases, you see. The biggest unit we built were 15 meters, having a weight of 30 tons. Other systems are dry chemical system in several capacity. In these pictures, we can see 18 units in container. We supply to Russia, and everything is built in accordance with the local regulation, and especially the low environmental condition up to minus 52. In those cases, we supply to Algeria. In the contrary case, for temperature up to 65 Celsius. As you noted, it is quite regular construction, but it is a part of our manufacturing activities. It is about 10% of our turnover. During the transportation of those containers, we have to consider the possibility for freezing during the transport to Russia. And we applied a double generator to keep the inside temperature plus 5 degrees Celsius. So another container, special container, blast-proof container, is the latest technology that we have developed for some project, granting the function of the system even during the blasting, in case of blast. This is a container that we tested in 2007, and this is the shipping by air, because we supply for Fukushima before the tragic event happened 4 years later. And unfortunately, the system hasn't been used during the tsunami because it was under maintenance, unfortunately. This is a typical monitor connected to the previous container in our, let's say, technology transferred to Japan for such a protection. So I'm available for you for any possible question regarding this activity or other activity. I'm involved for the latest 47 years in this activity. Therefore, I will be glad to share with you our experience. Thank you very much.